Tonight, something is going to climb onto you in the dark and fall asleep directly over your heart. It will circle once, it will settle, and within minutes, its whole body will go soft and heavy in a way you almost never see during the day. You probably think this is your cat being cozy, being needy, looking for a warm spot. But the real reason is far stranger than warmth. Because of everything a cat does in a day, sleeping is the most dangerous thing on the list, and your chest is one of the worst possible places to do it. Think about what sleep actually costs a small predator. A cat is not the top of any food chain. In the wild, an animal the size of a house cat is both hunter and prey. It eats birds and rodents, and it gets eaten by dogs, coyotes, larger cats, birds of prey. Which means every hour spent unconscious is an hour spent gambling. Cats solve this by sleeping enormously but shallowly. Most of a cat's 12 to 16 hours a day are spent in a light, floating doze. The ears still rotate. The body stays folded in a position it can spring out of. A sound in the next room, and the eyes open before the head lifts. That is the default. That is a cat sleeping alone. Deep sleep is different. Deep sleep is where the muscles fully release, the paws twitch, the whiskers flick at something only the cat can see. It is restorative. It is also completely defenseless. And cats are extremely selective about where they let that happen. So watch what your cat is choosing. Your chest is elevated, which is good, but it is unstable. It moves. It rises and falls. It is attached to a large animal that could roll over at any moment. It has no escape route, no walls, no corner to put its back against. By every rule of feline safety, your chest is a terrible bed. Your cat picks it anyway, so what is it actually getting? Start with the obvious answer because it is partly true. Cats are comfortable at temperatures that make humans reach for a fan. Their preferred range sits noticeably above ours, which is why your cat seeks the sunbeam, the laptop, the radiator, the freshly folded laundry. And you are a furnace that never switches off. Your chest is the warmest, most stable heat source in the house. But warmth alone does not explain it. A radiator is warmer. A heated bed is warmer and safer and does not roll over. Plenty of cats have both and still choose the rib cage. So warmth gets your cat into the room. Something else keeps it there. Listen to what your chest is doing. Under your cat's ear, right now, is a slow, rhythmic thump and the long rise and fall of your lungs. That combination, steady heartbeat, steady breath, warm body, gentle motion, is the exact sensory environment a kitten spends its first weeks inside. Kittens sleep in a pile, against the mother, against each other, ears pressed to bodies that are breathing. Adult cats do not simply grow out of that. A great deal of adult cat affection is kittenhood behavior that never switched off because we never gave it a reason to. The kneading, the purring, the pressing into a warm body, all of it belongs to a nursing kitten, and all of it survives in a 9-year-old cat lying on your sternum at 2 in the morning. Your heartbeat is the oldest lullaby your cat knows. Now here is the part most people miss entirely. Sleeping on you is not just something your cat receives, it is something your cat is doing to you. Cats live in a world built out of scent. They rub their cheeks along table legs, door frames, your ankles, each other. Those rubs deposit oils from glands on the face, the flanks, the base of the tail. John Bradshaw, who spent decades studying the behavior of domestic cats, described how cats in stable groups rub against one another and sleep pressed together, and in doing so blend their individual scents into one shared group smell. That mixed scent is the group's badge. It says, "This one is ours." A cat that sleeps on your chest all night is soaking in your scent and leaving its own all over you. By morning, you smell like the group. You have been recruited. And this is where the science gets more specific than most people expect. Because your cat is not doing this to a generic warm human. It is doing it to you, individually, and it can tell. In 2013, Atsuko Saito and Kazutaka Shinozuka ran a study in which cats heard recordings of their own owner's voice mixed in with the voices of strangers calling their name. The cat's response was measurable. ear movements, head turns, orienting behavior. Their bodies registered their own person's voice differently from every other voice in the recording. They didn't come running, they rarely do, but they knew. Then, in 2022, Charlotte de Mouzon and her colleagues in France tested something even finer. They compared how cats responded to that high, soft, sing-song voice people use with their pets, cat-directed speech, versus normal adult speech. The cats responded to the special voice, but mostly when it came from their own owner. The same tone from a stranger didn't land the same way. Put those two findings side by side and something clicks into place. Your cat is not just tolerating a warm human. Your cat has a specific mental file for you. Your voice, your smell, your rhythm, your particular chest. So when it walks past every other soft surface in the house and lies down on you, that is not convenience. That is a selection. But here comes the twist, and it is the part that changes how this whole gesture reads. In free-living cat colonies, cats do not sleep in contact with just anyone. Groups form around food and are usually built on related females, mothers, daughters, sisters, with unfamiliar cats kept at a careful distance. Two cats in the same alley may share territory for years, take turns using the same paths at different hours, and still never once fall asleep touching. Sleeping contact is not the baseline. It is not what cats do with acquaintances. It is what cats do with family. So the question was never why your cat likes lying on something warm. The question is why your cat filed you under the same category as the sister it grew up beside. And you should know that this trust has a shape you can read. Notice which way your cat faces. Very often, a cat asleep on a person will settle facing away, turned toward the door, toward the room, back pressed against you. People take this personally. They shouldn't. That position is a division of labor. Your cat has put its most vulnerable side against the thing it trusts and pointed its senses at the thing it doesn't. Its ears are still working while it sleeps. It is not ignoring you. It is watching the room so neither of you has to. Notice the weight, too. A cat lightly perched, ready to leave, is resting. A cat that has gone completely liquid, head down, paws slack, so heavy you can barely lift it, has crossed into deep sleep on top of you. That is the highest value version of this gesture. That is a small predator switching off its alarm system in your presence. And notice how it starts. Most cats do not simply flop down. There's a slow approach, a pause, a look at your face, sometimes a few kneads with the front paws before settling. That pause is a question. The kneading is the same motion a nursing kitten makes against its mother, resurfacing decades later in an adult animal that feels safe. Now, a fair note before you take all this to heart. Sleep patterns are also health information. A cat that suddenly wants to be on you constantly, or one that suddenly stops and starts sleeping alone in odd, hidden places, may be telling you something about how it feels physically rather than emotionally. Cats hide discomfort well, and a change in habit is often the first visible sign. If your cat's sleeping behavior shifts noticeably, that's a conversation for your own veterinarian, who knows your specific cat. And if your cat has never once slept on your chest, this is not a verdict on your relationship. Some cats are simply not contact sleepers. Some prefer to sleep near you rather than on you, the foot of the bed, the chair beside your desk, the doorway of whatever room you're in. Proximity without touch is its own dialect of the same sentence. A cat that chooses to be unconscious in the same room as you has already made most of the decision. What you can do is make the offer easy. Keep your evenings predictable. Let the cat approach and settle on its own terms instead of lifting it into place. Don't move suddenly when it does arrive, and don't wake it to reposition it. Cats give the most contact to the people who ask for the least. Trust, with a cat, is almost never something you take. It's something you leave the door open for. So tonight, when it happens, try to hear the whole sentence. The circling is an old instinct flattening imaginary grass. The kneading is a kitten that never fully left. The warmth is real, and so is the heartbeat under its ear. The scent it leaves on your shirt is a name tag. The turned-away face is a shared watch. And the deep, heavy, twitching sleep on top of you is the one thing a small, hunted predator cannot fake. Tonight, something is going to climb onto you in the dark and fall asleep directly over your heart. It is not looking for a warm spot. It has already decided where it is safest in the world, and the answer was you.